So I really wanted him to shake, not just shuffle it, I mean to really shake the thing by the scruff of the neck.
Terry, I think, would like to have met more often, talked on the phone more often. And I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to talk to him a couple of times and take the whole thing away. And then he'd have to trust me for a couple of months. And then he'd get back 120 pages, for better or worse.
He preferred exactly that. To write, go away, write, come back. We discuss it, you go away. And I can't work that way.
I think that most people who make films would like to meet twice a day with the writer so they can change in the afternoon what had been written in the morning.
I think that was ultimately our difficulty, it's exactly that. It's about different work habits.
Terry, as most film directors, and quite possibly rightly, considers that the director is the author of the celluloid.
And I don't think he's used to arguing. I think because of the way he works, and he works on his own most, I mean, because of his success, he doesn't have to argue the point too much. And I really wanted to drag him down into the mire with me a bit.
And he'd just say, well, fine, when we're shooting it, I'll be there, you won't be there, I'll do anything I like with it. You do see this, don't you? And I said, yes, all right, but just for today, on paper, let's do this. And then next year, you know, do what you like.
It's good that he remembered that, because I knew that was a crucial moment. But I didn't, at the time, I didn't think he would take it quite as hard as I think he took it. Because I was actually just being honest. I wasn't trying to use it as a power play, as a threat.
Most writers dream of directing their own script. It's the only situation which makes sense, which is why many directors write their own scripts, even the ones who can't write.
Tom isn't a collaborator. He warned me that at the beginning.
I mustn't leave that the way it is. Terry is a writer. You know, what I just said does not apply to Terry. He actually is a genuine writer.
I thought maybe this time we can actually change him, but, you know, none of us changed, so I'm not going to change, and he's not going to change. I do still think he's brilliant.
Terry and I disagreed about whether things were funny or not, but as I found Time Bandits very funny, I tended to think that he must be right and I must be wrong.
In the end, that's why I got involved with Charles.
In Life of Brian, I played 12 different parts. That was where I first met Terry. And I played, one of the parts I played was the blind man.
You do take after take of a blind man tripping and falling down a hole. Now, that's an extremely difficult thing to do.
I think Terry was quite impressed with the way I threw myself down the hole.
It was the best thing I'd ever seen.
And I think that's why he asked me to do some writing on Brazil for him. I can't think of any other reason.
Charles was one who had no claims on his time except me, and we could sit and argue it to death.
I don't think there were any very strong disagreements about anything.
All the elements were there. They were just added in the wrong order.
If there were, Terry won.
I think I made it funnier, but I'm not sure if I did, because later there was another script which Terry then did afterwards.
I can't remember which bits I've written and which bits... Obviously, I've written the best bits.
I haven't seen the script which they're shooting. I don't know how much of it is mine and how much of it was the first script and how much of it was the next script.
So I try to forget the script. Once we start filming, I try to forget it. I try not to look too much at rushes. I mean, I look at them only when I'm about to cut them to try and have a really spontaneous feel about them. And then I try and guess where they're supposed to go. Here, while you're here, Terry, there's one close-up of her that's wrong.
Shirley, what are you going to have?
Between you and me, mademoiselle, today, the number one.
Whatever the writer writes, whatever the actor acts, whatever anything is at the end, it's the guy who sits there with the scissors, who's cutting the thing, and he can do anything with it, and he will do anything with it. They always do.
Wait! Raised veal in wine sauce.
Oh, it's too exciting.
Numéro 2, orange. Excusez-moi.
The acid man? Really? Salt.
The restaurant scene which we shot at Mentmore was extraordinary. It's the home of transcendental meditation. Is where we shot one of our most violent scenes. Thinking about it as a more meaningful film, the way it was played. I mean, the fact that you've got very wealthy people sitting, eating at a restaurant, an explosion goes off, and they carry on with their meal.
I saw the most wonderful idea for Christmas presents at the chemist. Gift tokens. Medical gift tokens.
Oh, that sounds marvelous.
At one moment, I thought we were involved in a very sick joke, because there's a film that takes place at Christmas time, all about bombs going off in shopping centers. And then at Christmas time, Herod blows up, and they were back in business. Just like that.
I thought it had actually gone wrong, but I couldn't believe the sort of size of the flames and the fireballs that were coming through. And it's pretty dangerous stuff.
Well, I wish I'll get it. You'll be lucky to get to see.
They wanted me to do this massive explosion out of the kitchen, but that was quite a problem. We couldn't make loud bangs in case the glass cracked. And the whole place was glass, had a glass roof, glass walls, so we used these gas guns. And then we do lots of tests and we calculate just how far people in the restaurant can sit away from the ball of fire without getting their hair singed.
George Gibbs, who's doing the special effects, he just finished Raiders too, and he says this one is harder.
Oh my God. You want Michael Palin? He's not in. Well, if he is in, he's busy. All right, if you want to see him, he'll have to go and see his personal assistant, Mr. Katzenberg, around the back, in a garden. I'll tell him you're here.
Mike's wonderful.
Harvey, trouble.
He provides coffee and things on the set, if I remember correctly. He's a little-known man who, this could be his big break, I think. Put him in the eyes of the world as a supporting actor.
Ah, good afternoon. I'm Katzenberg, Mr. Palin's personal assistant. Extremely personal assistant. I'm afraid he's rather busy at the moment. We're trying to cut him down to 23 interviews a day, but if you'd like to take your place in line, he's giving some phone interviews over in the Attenborough room. I'm sure he'll oblige. Thank you.
In a strange way, this was probably one of the more difficult things for Mike, because I was trying to get him to play himself, which isn't what Mike does. Mike is brilliant at playing 10 million other characters.
No, I played the character of Jack. Yep, Jack Lint. No, someone else plays the girl. That's right. He's sort of best friend of the hero, and he retrieves information from people in various different ways, most of which are fairly gruesome. Jack really is the sort of man who likes to look right and likes to have everybody around him looking right, even his wife.
Action. Sam, do you know Alison? Do you remember? Alison. Sam Larry, old friend.
Alison, yes, of course. Well, you look different.
Well, I'm 2 years older.
And she's been to Dr. Jaffe. She doesn't like me telling people, but in fact, she's really pleased.
I knew there was something different.
Remember how they used to stick out?
What? Oh, yes. Well, rather. Always used to wonder if they were real.
What, my ears?
Sorry? Dr. Jaffe pins her ears back.
Yes, that's right. Always used to wonder if she wore false ears.
Oh, Mr. Heltman.
Christ. False ears.
Sorry. That was fun, Captain.
Terry is worth working for, if you see what I mean.
Don't get excited just because you're on film today. You can all be cut out later.
He tends to produce on screen things which other people would never even begin to attempt to produce on screen. Our collaboration began with the Python movies, and then Jabberwocky. We then worked together on Time Bandits, which actually did some writing for as well. Brazil, yeah. No, not in Brazil. It's called Brazil.
Brazil.